podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, let go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, let go.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live for the WWE Raw on Netflix recap show, and we are live on the EVP Show's YouTube page, along with my X account, and also the CEO and the head of the table of DWE, Miami the Great X. Quick shout out to Miami the Great for I have the same display, but if you guys don't notice any changes, obviously I have my Twitter profile picture up there instead of that old shit that I used to have up there. And then we got the DWE logo on the stream, and also the EVP show in the right-hand corner. I am so glad to see you guys tonight. Roman Reigns and CM Punk WrestleMania. Man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. It just sucks to... man. Roman Drew, huh? Yeah, that was quite comical. Like I said it 2 months ago. I said it on every Sunday Scoops. Said it to all my friends. Said it to all the GC chats. Been the plan for a while. Ever since they scrapped the Roman Cody stuff, it just makes the most sense. He was never picking Drew McIntyre. There's story, but the story with Drew right now is with Cody, and Jacob, which I'll get into more of that on like Scoops. I got a very interesting twist that WWE may end up throwing in, because Roman and Punk is definitely going to main event night too. I can definitely see that Roman is going to main event night too, and Punk. It has to. Cody and Drew. I don't really personally think they're going to add Jacob, because I do think that Randy Orton is going to be the one to reveal that he attacked Jacob Fatu. You got to have a match for Randy at WrestleMania. He's back full time. But if they want to insert Drew in there, that's fine, but I think they should run Cody Drew back. Maybe do like Hell in a Cell or something like that. Maybe that's where we finally get the Cody heel turn. Drew keeps saying that, he'll do anything to hold on to that championship, but maybe Cody won't actually turn on the fans and do anything to get that championship back. I don't know. It really seems like it's a golden opportunity, because Punk is red hot, Roman is red hot, Jay is red hot. Like, now would be a great time to pull that trigger on Cody, and have him just do whatever the hell he's got to do to get that title back from Drew at WrestleMania. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but Drew was never meant to hold this title for a long time. I said it after he won it. And I'm going to stand on it, just like I stood on Roman and Punk. So for me, the show was, it wasn't an all-timer. I think that the show had some moments for sure. But there was a lot of like, before the Raquel, the Bella twins, obviously, I'm happy to see Brie and Nikki, back. That's what they should have done to start with. Obviously, Liv got hurt. But Now, we can get them back in the tag division, maybe have them go after Rhea and Io for the tag titles at WrestleMania or something like that. I'm sure that's definitely the way they're going with that. They said it tonight that they're coming after the tag titles. So, yeah, I agree. So shout out to the people that are watching live. Shout out to DWE host for reposting. Shout out to Raymond. Raymond is one of those people that I talk to on a daily basis that I told that was going to be CM Punk and Roman Reigns over 2 months ago. And he attested to that on X as well. So shout out to Raymond for reposting the stream. Very interesting show tonight. Yeah, I mean, it was a show of two very distinctive halves. 100% Stampede. It really was. The first half, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I kind of felt like I could fall asleep. Before all the Liv, like Dominic coming back, and then getting Liv in the ring, and then obviously everything that occurred between her and Raquel. I think that's when the show finally started to pick up. Obviously, they had announced 2 matches already for next week, which is Maxine versus Natty. I mean, I'm okay with the match, but I mean, it's not a jump up and down for me, get excited type of match, especially on the road to Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. And then, like I said, last Monday, when the Alpha Academy qualified as #1 contenders, like it's a Raw match. Everybody wants to put everybody on the Elimination Chamber card, but TKO and Triple H, we know we're getting probably a 4-match card at Elimination Chamber. So I'm sure there'll be the ladies in the men's chamber match. I think Punk probably defends against Balor there, and I don't know what the other. Maybe they do Jordan and Jade. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what the other match is going to be, but I don't see them going over 4. They didn't do it for the Rumble, so I don't think they're going to do it for the chamber. Shout out to Talking Up Wrestling Podcast. Obviously, we have the host of Talking Up Wrestling Podcast as the CEO, the head of the table of DWE. You can see that beautiful, shiny little logo next to that EVP show, Cody Rhodes, Dark Hill, because we know it's coming, and we're going to love it when it comes. EVP show. Shout out to the Talking Up Wrestling Podcast with Miami the Great and the Unseen Bling Queen, the birthday queen. Happy birthday, which I've told her, but telling her again. Hope she had a great birthday. Make sure you follow them on X. Also, hit that like and subscribe button to their YouTube channel. DWE is doing a lot of big things. DWE Radio on Fridays. Obviously, the schedule has been posted. Everybody's posted the schedule of all of our shows. Shout out to After Slam Podcast. He'll also be having a show coming up Sunday, a couple of hours before my Sunday Scoop show. So make sure you follow everybody. DWE Reg, Greg, Miami, Final Boss Baby, After the Slam, and then everyone is affiliated with Gimmick Table Media as well, kicking out at 2, the Running Wrestling Podcast, and the 2 lovely ladies from Wrestling Divas Podcast, Lady Alpha and Autumn, who was pumped. Autumn was pumped about Dom. I messaged her earlier and told her he was going to be showing up tonight. Yes, she said that from 2 months ago. So I'm going to try to clip this on my short. So this comes from Raymond, Fortnite Leaks. Yes, you said it from 2 months ago, Roman vs. Punk at Mania, and you called it, so I believe you, GOAT. Plus, I couldn't see Roman vs. Drew. That wouldn't make any sense at all. 2, Cody versus Drew, it makes sense since Cody wants his title back. You are 100% correct. I said it 2 months ago, stood on it, and I'm surprised that they went ahead and made it official, but Roman ain't wasting no time. I don't think he'll be on TV every week, but the promo tonight was fucking fire. But special shout out to Raymond. Like I said, he gets a lot of my information in a GC chat, along with Wrestle Fanatic and Billy and all them that's in that chat. So shout out to all of them. They get all of the information before anybody else that I put out. Yeah, like you said, I put it in there 2 months ago. So, but yeah, shout out to Raymond. Appreciate that, buddy. And I enjoy you coming on the streams and obviously on Sunday Scoops as well. I don't know if they're going to put Jacob in the match. I don't know. That's still up in the air. Because I think they got to have something for Randy to do. So I think Randy is ultimately going to be the one that they're going to reveal that attack Jacob. So shout out to Raymond. Yes. Hopefully StreamYard will clip this so that I can put it on short tonight. So StreamYard, if you're listening, make sure you clip this shit right here. The last 2 months ago, Roman Punk at Mania. Shout out to DW Replays for reposting the stream. And shout out to the 97 people that we have watching live. Figured it'd be a lot more people since that was a crazy, fiery ending to Raw. I think we're right at the... There's another one that I tagged in my Roman Punk post. Shout out to Wrestling RUS podcast. I just said on Scoops this past weekend. I was like, yeah, Roman Punk. It's happening, brother. And it's official as of tonight. So yeah, I called it. You know, is what it is. I got one. Put that rod out there and got me one of them. Appreciate that, EVP. Called it GOAT. Not a GOAT, but I definitely called that one for sure. I did say 2 to 3 months ago. I definitely did. I definitely said Roman Punk well over 2 months ago. So appreciate that, brother. Appreciate the acknowledgement. It means a lot. You are good. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I do my best. I get stuff wrong. Just like everybody else, but it's good to, you know, when you do get something right. Obviously, but yeah, appreciate that, Wrestling RUS. And Cody and the Drew stuff next, so can't wait for that to get settled. And then obviously, you know, I was a little shocked about what they did with Stephanie tonight, because it still looks like Stephanie's favoring that ankle. I had the same type of surgery as Stephanie did. So she didn't have surgery, but I had ankle surgery, and I know that like that shit lingers. So like I thought WWE wasted a prime opportunity tonight to like, I mean, I know there's still gonna be like drama that comes from it because Raquel did not want Liv to get involved. Liv got involved anyway. Roxanne even got involved, but Stephanie was able to hold both of them off and retain. I don't know. Stephanie got a new theme, and I didn't like it. She got Def Rebel, and I definitely don't like it. I don't know. Maybe they're going to Liv Stephanie. I'll find out before Scoops Sunday, and I'll let you guys know Sunday on Scoops. But they also could run Stephanie Raquel back Elimination Chamber. But like I said, I don't think they go over 4 matches for that card. So, you know, Liv hit the Oblivion at the end of the match on Stephanie, picked up the title, and then threw it down on her. So they teased Liv and Stephanie a while back. It was a small tease, but maybe that's where they're gonna go. A heel Liv against a face Stephanie. and then maybe we get the dissension and all that, because I still think, that Finn's ultimately going to be the one to take the title off of Dom. But shout out to Wrestling RUS podcast and also Raymond for the acknowledgement. UBP called it good. He said 3 months ago, you're our good. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so let's get to Raw. So tonight would have been a Raw that I really wanted to be at. Obviously, I live about 45 minutes from Philly. So I really would have loved to have been at the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philly tonight. It's about an hour drive for me, but it just wasn't in the works. It wasn't in the cards. But yeah, I was in Philly for WrestleMania 40. I was there the last time that the final boss actually wrestled when him and Roman teamed up against Cody and Seth. So it was so damn cold that night too. My God, it was cold. Yeah. So I see all the people on X that's mad. It's not Roman Drew. Like they're crashing the hell out. I've already seen a couple of people, a couple of big accounts that's already going crazy. But I mean that's the story, man. Like this shit goes back a long ways with Roman Punk. He hates Punk. So yeah, it's locked in. WrestleMania Night 2 main event. We're not gonna have to wait. I do believe Punk still has to defend against Finn, but let's be real here, guys. It's not gonna be Roman Finn, so they've kind of taken it away if Punk ends up having to defend the title at Elimination Chamber. But that's their match. That's the Night 2 main event. I don't see any way possible that Cody Drew in them main event night 2. Roman Punk has to main event night 2, 100%. And then maybe whether it's Cody Drew or Cody Drew Jacob, which I'm leaning more a little bit now towards Cody Drew in some sort of like cage or Hell in a Cell or stipulation match. I believe 100% is probably end up going to be a Drew Cody. And I think they're going to do Jacob Randy as well. Because Randy's going to eventually turn and reveal that he was the one that took Jacob out. Yeah, I mean, Drew vs. Cody, I called it again. But it's not official yet. But once it is, obviously, I will tweet it and tag you, and like I tagged you in the Roman one. I tweeted the Roman Punk shit out a long time ago. I just couldn't find the tweet. It's lost and everything else on my X. Appreciate the shout out though. So Raw was live from the Xfinity Mobile Arena, live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania tonight. It was a post-WWE Royal Rumble show. We're going to see the WWE Women's World Champion La Primera, Stephanie Vacour, defend her title against the Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez in a Philadelphia street fight. So the show opens up with Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Brian Breaker is out there. Let's see. Hold on. They're trying to build up Finn and just turned him into an afterthought on the same show. Poor Finn. Yeah. They've done a couple of the NXT, like they showed his stuff on NXT. I mean, I agree, but ultimately I think we're gonna get that demon back because everybody's like tugging at his strings and stuff like that, and I feel like, at the end of the day, like, he's going to eventually, like, either Dom and all them are going to turn on him, or, like, he's going to go demon, and then maybe, Finn wins that Intercontinental Championship off of Dom. I never thought Finn was winning the world title right now anyway, but I do think that he's going to get the Intercontinental Championship, but I do understand where you're coming from, Stampede. I've seen people taking your info. Who's that? Wrestling RUS. Who's taking my info? I mean, they can try. I mean, I have it all over my X and on shorts and in GC chat, so I don't care. I mean, I said it 3 months ago, so doesn't matter. I said it happened. They can steal it, do whatever they want to do. I'm sure it's going to be running rampant now on the IWC. So, but it's fine. Let them take it. Finn's chances of winning the match against Punk now. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. So obviously, you know, I 100% believe we're headed for Finn Punk. CM Punk's gonna have to have a match in Chicago at the Elimination Chamber. So, you know, Finn called him out during the show. You know, we're headed for that rematch. So now we know with Roman, you know, finalizing it, which I already knew anyway, but now that it's final, locked in, locked. I know you motherfuckers don't like that word locked, but it's locked. Now with the Roman Punk match official, like, yeah, Stampede, I think I would have held off maybe. I don't know. But Roman, you know, that promo was deep. So like, I don't think there was ever a chance he was even considering Drew. But it definitely takes away any type of hope anybody would have that Finn Balor's beating CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago at Elimination Chamber. They may even get the hell away from the match now. I mean, I'm not sure if WWE has made it official with Roman Punk, but that's just official as a whistle. It's been the plan for a while. So if somebody has seen it on WWE, obviously let me know, but it's definitely official. They're not changing it. So this isn't going to be WrestleMania 40 all over again. So I look forward to that. All right. So we start to show Braun Breaker's absolutely pissed off. He comes out there throwing shit around, cussing at Corey Graves and Michael Cole, pissed off about obviously him and Paul Heyman about being number 2 in the Rumble and then getting attacked by the Masked Man. You know, I've looked at pictures. I talked about it on Scoops yesterday. I've looked at pictures and I'm like, I just don't really know. You know, like the pictures are just so hard to distinguish. It definitely wasn't LA Knight. I've seen a lot of people saying that. It damn sure wasn't him. It's not Theory. I don't know. They're playing it up really hard. And Wrestling RUS podcast, make sure you clip this, or I'll try to clip it. They're playing it up really hard that it's Adam Pearce, and I mean it's a possibility that it could be. I'm not saying that it's not, because obviously, like the person that had a light colored beard. I've seen rumors of Logan Paul. I've seen rumors of fucking Jake Paul. I really hope and pray that they're not thinking about doing Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce at WrestleMania. I was told that it's Braun and Seth for WrestleMania. So let's just hope that they turn this all the way around, that maybe it is Logan or maybe it was Jake Paul or something like that. And Seth is the one that's behind all this, and it leads to them to a WrestleMania, because Braun deserves a big match at WrestleMania, and I do not want to see Braun Breaker and fucking Adam Pearce. I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't want to see that. But I definitely agree with you. He has a less than a 0% chance to beat Punk at Elimination Chamber, which he wasn't going to beat him anyway, but now they've made it very apparent. So Breaker flips a chair, starts to destroy the announce desk, demanding a mic. My guess is Jake Paul. I've seen a lot of guesses people under contract to AEW. People need to look up how contracts work. Yeah, I saw the Buddy Matthews stuff. It's 100% not him. That guy's super fucking jacked. If anybody doesn't know who Buddy Matthews is, obviously he's with AEW. I'll say he's married to Rhea Ripley. It is 100% not Buddy Matthews. That's really the only one that I've seen Stampede. But yeah, I agree. People need to understand how contracts work. I think Jake Paul could be a possibility. He did like make a statement that something big was really about to happen. It's what I do believe it's one of the Paul brothers. I do. It's Logan or Jake. I'll try to find out before Sunday if I can get the exact. That's something that they're kind of keeping pretty airtight right now, but it could be Jake Paul. And I guess if it is, like, if Seth's not ready for WrestleMania, then what are they gonna do? Braun and Logan? I don't know. I mean, they're not gonna do Braun and Jake Paul. So Logan was always kind of like the outsider anyway. I felt like in the vision. So I don't know. I think it would make sense. But yes, I do believe Jake Paul is a strong consideration for that Stampede. So Breaker then gets into the ring. He's cussing. He's going off on Adam Pearce after what happened at the Rumble. Obviously, the Vision all make their way down to the ring to stop him from blowing a gasket before Heyman takes the mic to address Adam Pearce himself. Heyman says the GM has to approve every visa for someone to travel to Saudi Arabia for a WWE show, and he doesn't know who the Masked Man is. There were some good promos tonight. I did enjoy some of the promos tonight. Breaker then takes the mic back, telling Adam Pearce his ass has got to count of three to get out here, and Pearce makes his way out at 2. Telling Breaker that the last time they had a masked man, it was Austin Theory. So I don't know. It's one of the Paul brothers, I believe. I don't genuinely think WWE is gonna be dumb and do this fucking Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce shit. Like nobody would. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I'm not worried about people taking my info. I don't know who you're talking about, but I mean, I have screenshots, so I'm not really worried about it. Let's see. Breaker turns around, he looks at Austin Theory. So, like, there's a lot of dissension in the division right now. They did not have a good night. He then tells Breaker he will still let him have a job after his piss poor performance at the Royal Rumble. And Breaker goes fucking ballistic. And then we get the music of L.A. Knight. Yeah. As we see, Knight, he come from the other side of the arena and come from behind the Vision in the ring, blindside the Vision with hits some of the chair. And L.A. Knight gets out of the ring before Bronson Reed can get to him. Before Bronson can get to the ring. Breaker then looks at security and he wants to know. He looks at Paul and he's like, "What are we doing?" He then walks he just kind of walks straight to security to the back. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, obviously LA Knight. I thought maybe LA and Chris Jericho maybe they'll play for Mania, but if Jericho's not going to be on TV, then I don't know. Maybe they could do LA Knight, Bronson Reed. I mean, we've seen it 100 times already. Maybe LA Knight, Austin Theory. Maybe LA Knight, Logan Paul. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm sure they're going to get LA Knight against somebody in the Vision at WrestleMania for sure. So we then take a look back at this past Saturday's Royal Rumble PLE. And then we get our first match of the night. We get the young OG, the newest call-up. Jericho is still on the AEW. Yeah. Jericho's still on AEW roster and is touring with Fozzy in February. Yeah, I talked about that yesterday. Stampede on Scoops. That he is still listed on the roster. And he's also touring with Fozzy. So I don't expect Jericho before WrestleMania. It's a big surprise. I thought for sure that he probably would. But obviously, like I said yesterday, he's booked up through the month of February. So, I mean, I guess he could, if he's gonna come to WWE, which I do think apparently, eventually he does. I guess he could come in March, but I mean, that's kind of I mean, they could still do a build. If they want to get him on the Mania card, but we'll see how it plays out. The Young OG makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night, and El Grande Americano follows with Rayo and Bravo Americano. So it's going to be the Young OG versus Los Americanos, El Grande Americano. The match starts off with Grande tossing his cape at Evans and kicking him. Evans then hits a springboard head scissors and a drop kick. Evans misses a splash in the corner. Grande hits a clothesline. They then return to the ring. Evans hits a forearm, drops down, and Grande goes to the floor. Evans then hits a plancha that almost sends him completely over El Grande, but he makes contact. Then Rayo gets involved, trips Evans while Bravo distracts, and Grande goes to the floor. Grande then hits a baseball slide on the apron to keep Evans from removing Rayo's mask. So Grande then sends Evans into the ring post and then back into the ring. And then Grande just starts standing on Javon Evans' hair. Evans rebounds with some forearms. Grande then takes back control of the match. Let's get down towards the end of the match here. Grande hits an Enzuigiri for near fall, then drops Evans' arm on the top rope, and he kicks Evans. Grande then hits a short arm clothesline for near fall. This match was really good. Evans then hits a super kick to Grande, and he hits a back heel kick after missing a round kick. So I'll get to it when we get to the end of the match. It's definitely setting up what I talked about on Scoops. Or somebody asked me on Scoops yesterday, and I told them the answer was yes. Evans then misses a Superman punch, and Grande applies a Cobra clutch. Evans escapes and hits a forearm. So get to the end of the match. Evans goes up top. Rayo distracts the referee, and Bravo knocks him down to where he goes crotch first into the turnbuckle. Rayo then gives Grande the metal weapon, and Grande Classico appears, which I believe is Chad Gable. I think that he looks like Chad Gable. So for me, I think the other one is Chad Gable. He distracts Grande Evans and hits a kick and then a double jump cutter for the 1, 2, 3. And the winner is the young OG, Javon Evans. After the match, Evans celebrates his win. And then we see who I believe is Chad Gable in the other El Grande Americano match. And unfortunately, even though I think the story's hilarious, we're going to get probably fucking Chad Gable against Lovely Kaiser, Grande Americano versus Grande Americano, probably at WrestleMania. And whoever loses has to take the damn mask off or something like that. So it looks like that's where we're headed on that. Javon Evans defeats El Grande Americano, 12 minutes, 32 seconds, 7 out of 10 rating. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I didn't know that match was that long, but thanks for the info. I appreciate that, Stampede. That's good information. I used to keep up with all that, but it's just so much to keep up with the match time and stuff. But thank you for that. 7. You rated it a 7 out of 10. That's a very good rating. Shout out to the 200 people that's watching live. Love to see that. Love to see the YouTube comments. That definitely helps me on my stream. Obviously, I appreciate everybody on X as well, but YouTube comments definitely helps me out. Make sure you guys like Make sure you guys like the stream tonight on the YouTube channel. And if you are watching on YouTube, please send your comments in. I'll answer them best as I can. But I definitely appreciate the support off of all of mine and Miami's X, as well as the YouTube channel. Just, make sure you guys, if you can, make sure you like the stream on YouTube, because that helps me out. And I appreciate that a lot. So we take a look at the newer main roster talent who appeared at the Royal Rumble. We also look at the debuting Royce Keys and the dominance of Obafemi, among other highlights from last weekend's PLE. So I talked about this yesterday on Sunday Scoops. I didn't expect to see Royce Keys tonight. Somebody asked me, I don't remember who it was. I'd have to go back and watch the show from yesterday. If you guys want to go back and watch Sunday Scoops, it was asked yesterday if Royce Keys would be on Raw or SmackDown, and I said SmackDown. I believe Royce Keys will be on SmackDown. I believe Ruka. I don't know where she ends up. Maybe Raw. I think she needs to go to SmackDown too, as well as JC Jane. So then, I guess some people saw it, some people didn't. We seen the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, the Usos, are in the concourse of their music kits, and they walk through the crowd. Jimmy says they have to wait until next week when they defend the tag titles against the Alpha Academy, and that is official next week on Raw. We will get Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos, the Raw Tag Team Champions, defending against Otis and Tozawa of Alpha Academy. And then the other match announced is Maxine going one-on-one with Natty. And then we're going to start getting some elimination chamber qualifiers. So looking forward to that, especially on the ladies' side. I'd love to see maybe an NXT person or something get in the chamber. I don't know the plan is for the women's chamber. I honestly don't. It's all gonna depend on Bianca's health. I do feel like if she's ready to come back, like this all started with her and Jade at the chamber last year where she attacked Naomi. So like if she's coming back, I would expect Bianca to win the chamber again back to back and face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. But if she's not ready, then I think we're going to get another Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill match. Jay says he wants everyone to acknowledge Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, and he tells him to go win the title, Big Us, and then the Usos leave. So then this career killer. People hate him. I don't. I thought he was bland, boring, and all that before, but this character, this career killer, I'm loving it. I'm loving what WWE's doing with Gunther. The heat is magnifying. I don't know where they go next. Maybe Brock, maybe Rey Mysterio, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura, because all of them are winding down. Ultimately, I do think he retired Brock Lesnar, and then we could get a career killer versus a legend killer when Randy Orton gets ready to wind down. But AJ Styles music hit, and for just a second, they got me. But I'm like, there's no fucking way, because I talked about AJ for 20 minutes yesterday. He's not like he's dominant in a WWE ring, but he's gonna have some dream matches and stuff like that at TNA. I heard there's a possibility he may wrestle Kenny Omega. I don't know how secure that is. But I mean, he doesn't have to sign a full contract, I wouldn't think, to wrestle Kenny Omega. That is one of his dream opponents. But AJ Styles music hits, and the career killer comes out acting like AJ Styles. Same pose and everything. The boos, they're saying F you Gunther, and you still tap, but these only make him smile as he tries to speak. I love this. I didn't love it because I feel bad for AJ, but I love what they're doing with Gunther. Dragon Lee was very interesting coming out to confront Gunther. Yeah, I wasn't expecting Dragon Lee, Stampede. I mean, I don't think Dragon Lee is that old, is he? Not. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. To I mean, obviously Gunther made short work of him tonight, so I don't know. Maybe that was because Dragon was tag champion with AJ previously, so maybe that's why on that. He wouldn't need a contract to wrestle anyone in TNA or AEW. He could freelance. I agree, and I talked about it on Scoop. Obviously, if you had the time to go back and watch it yesterday, I did about a 15 or 20-minute segment before I started taking questions and stuff, talking about AJ. That is the plans for AJ. As of now, is he's going to the freelance, like you said. He's gonna have some, one-offs, some dream matches, and then at the end of 2026, he'll be done. I don't know if he wins. He may win the TNA title. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really get that much into detail. I'll be starting a TNA recap show in 2 weeks on Thursday night, so you guys get ready for that. That will be coming to newest show to DWE and also to the EVP show channel. Once the Super Bowl is over, next Tuesday will be our last NFL show until next season. So then after that, I will be picking up TNA recap on Thursday. So you guys make sure to tune in on Thursday nights, which is usually an off night for me. But since I won't be doing 2 shows on Tuesday, I'll do the TNA recap. And I'm going to have to start catching up on TNA. So, because I don't watch it a lot. Dragon Lee, late 2023 till mid 2023, signed a new contract, and late 2023 on main roster call up. Oh, okay. So, Dragon Lee could be next. Dragon Lee could be next. Interesting, WWE made a point to say AJ would never go back on his word regarding being done. Stay tuned. Yeah, Triple H is full of shit. He also said that Roman Reigns was going to take his time in making a decision, and he also says it's a new era after every show and after every PLE. Trust me, Stampede, I'm telling you, AJ's not done. He's not wrestling in WWE, but he's going to have some dream matches. And I didn't know, like, until you just told me about the freelance thing. Like, that's definitely helpful information for me, because I didn't know that. I didn't know how the contract whole stuff worked, like, as far as that. But I expect him to wrestle Kenny Omega. He may have, like, somebody that's in NXT. I don't know, maybe a Ricky Saints or an Ethan Page. But we will not see AJ Styles back on the main roster for any matches for sure. But expect him to be flipping New Japan, TNA, AEW, could possibly wrestle an NXT star. Just whoever AJ, whoever he wants to wrestle, until the end of 2026. So they did it with Ricochet when they knew he was gonna bounce. Yeah, 100%. I don't believe a freaking word that comes out of Triple H's mouth. I don't. And I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this year if Triple H is gone. Like, there's a lot of turmoil going on backstage. That shit was brought up tonight. And it's crazy when I'll get to the Roman part when I get there, but they said Zebros. And that shit has been all over X. So, like, if you guys don't really think that Triple H and all of his fucking 15 burner accounts are not paying attention to what people are putting on X, that's why I don't report on X. That's why I stopped it. I put it in GC chats or in a Discord. I'm working on a Discord right now. Or I say it on Sunday Scoops because they pay attention to all that shit on social media. Everything that they have people watching everything on social media. That's why they change shit so much. But let's get back to the show. Gunther starts off by saying, just like Bill Goldberg and just like John Cena, AJ Styles found out when you step in the ring with the career killer, your career and legacy dies. Gunther then speaks in German, and then Dragon Lee makes his way down to the ring, and he kicks Gunther and goes up top and hits a cross body. Dragon then punches Gunther and kicks him to the floor and hits a suicide dive that sends Gunther into the announce desk. Lee then hits a head scissors that sends Gunther into the ring post, and he drop kicks Gunther over the ringside barrier. Lee then sets up for a dive, but Gunther hits Lee with the ring bell. Gunther then applies a sleeper on Dragon Lee. Officials then come out to stop Gunther. And that was pretty much it for Dragon Lee. Short work there for Dragon Lee, buddy, when you're wrestling the career killer. Gunther gets back in the ring. He pulls Lee into the ring and reapplies a sleeper and hangs Lee up. Lee then finally collapses to the floor. Gunther then picks his jacket and puts it back on, and he leaves. The career killer strikes again. I love what they're doing with Gunther's character. A lot of people hate it, but I don't. So then we then take a look at why LA Knight might have done what he did earlier tonight. Paul Heyman then walks up to Pierce and he stares at him. Paul says Pierce is going to book a match tonight. That match will be Brian Breaker versus LA Knight. Paul then says please. Pierce then says he cannot do it. Paul Heyman asks why. Pierce then says he walked Knight out of the building because he interrupted his show. He then tells Paul to consider walking Braun out of the building. He then tells Paul to get Bronson Reed ready for his match against Penta. I mean, he said he walked LA Knight out of the building, but he really didn't. Or if he did, LA Knight came back. Paul then asks Pierce if he knows who he is talking to and where he is talking to. Pierce tells Paul Heyman F-A-F-O, which I'm not going to say that on here, but you guys know what that means. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. I'll just say it like that. There's plenty of escalation still between Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman. This power struggle. God, I hope they don't do Pearce and Braun. I just pray they don't. So we then see Byron Saxton in an interview area with Maxine Dupree. He asked about what Natty did, and he mentions their match next week. Dupree says she is in shock. Dupree then says Natty was her closest friend, took her under her wing, and trained her. Dupree then says Natty betrayed her, and she says the old Maxine would have gone away, but this is a new Maxine, and she beat Becky Lynch. Dupree then says Natty didn't elevate her, she elevated herself. Dupree then says you can say what you want. Maxine then said try to decimate her because next week you get your greatest lesson. Dupree then says you cannot decimate this Maxine Dupree. So it's official next week, Maxine Dupree one-on-one versus Natty. So we then see Brian Breaker breaking stuff, and Paul Heyman stops Brian. He then tells Brian if he doesn't leave, Pierce has all the ammo. Brian then says he doesn't care. Brian is losing it. He's out of control. So the War Raiders are about to be in action, but they are joined by a man that they have been promoting heavily and showed up at the Rumble as number 1 and put on a hell of a show and is going to be a future WWE champion. Well, then I would say 2027 at the latest. Oba Femi makes his way down to the ring. Oba hits some clotheslines, some splashes. Oba then hits a toss powerbomb to Eric, followed by a chokeslam to Ivar. Oba then hits a pop-up powerbomb to Eric, and then Oba's music hits. So Oba Femi comes down there and makes short work of the Viking Raiders. So Oba is a member of Raw. He is not going to be on SmackDown. It is highly likely that both Evil and Hiromu Takahashi will move. Yes, I did see that. Stampede, that Evil. I heard about Evil. I didn't know about Takahashi, but I did hear that Evil was going to be coming to WWE. I'd seen that on a podcast, actually. I think it was Solid Monster that was talking about it, about Evil, but I didn't know about Takahashi. But yeah, I look forward to that. I got to get caught up in other stuff because obviously I want to be able to be selective on shows. Obviously, you know, I have my hands full with WWE up until WrestleMania. Then it kind of slows down. NXT is going to be popping for the next couple of months. So then I'm gonna start a TNA show. So then Finn Balor cuts a promo. He says this is a business built on respect. Finn then says he approached his career that way. Finn then says he always gave respect. Finn then says the longer he is here, the more he realizes the respect he gives is never returned. Finn then says he has been taken for granted. Finn then says what happened in Belfast wasn't a one-off, as I said earlier. Finn then says Pierce tells him the Rumble is closed. Finn then says it appears respect only gets you so far. Finn then says he wants it all. Finn says he wants the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, you do follow a lot of promotions, Stampede. You got a shit ton of wrestling knowledge. Definitely. I mean, if you ever want to come on a YouTube stream, definitely let me know because we can definitely make that happen. Finn then says he doesn't think it's a bad idea. He doesn't think he's a bad guy, but at this point, he's willing to do bad things. Like I just said earlier, we're eventually gonna get that demon, but he's not winning the title. So, I'll help you branch out to the 14 promotions I follow. Yeah, you are. That's why they call you the Wrestling Dictionary. Love that. So Nikki Bella is shown in the back. Obviously, it was no brainer. I saw her and Brie all over the internet at the airport. I saw Alexa Bliss too, but she was on the show. But Nikki Bella's supposedly boyfriend, Cooper DeJean, that plays for the Eagles. So I knew there was going to be some Eagles shit said in their promo. So Nikki shown walking in the back, and she is joined by her sister Brie Bella, who now is officially a member of Raw as well. She's back. If they bring back the Demon, they can't trot him out there to lose again. Oh, I agree. But I don't think they bring Demon back until he faces Dom, though, Stampede. I really don't, because I do believe the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw is going to be locked up for a while with the Roman Punk stuff. I think Roman's going to win the title from Punk. And I mean, I don't know how long Roman's going to have the title. So Nikki and Brie then make their way down to the ring. Nikki starts off by asking if the booing is for them or the Eagles not making the Super Bowl, which obviously I told you she's a big Eagles fan. I think she's dating somebody, Cooper DeJean from the Eagles. Brie then says it is one of the Eagles. Brie then says it is for one of the Eagles. I don't know what she meant by that. And Nikki mentions she has good taste. Oh, okay. So they're talking about Cooper DeJean. Okay, I got it. Nikki mentions she has good taste because he is in the Pro Bowl. So maybe she went official with it. Maybe her and Cooper DeJean are dating. Nikki then says they have not been in the ring on Raw together for 7 years. Nikki then says we are all glad that Brie is back. Brie got very emotional. Brie thanks everyone. She says she is so happy to be back. She is finally home. Brie then asks why come back now. Brie then says not because Nikki was getting her butt kicked every week and she needed help. Brie then says the reason is because they are the original tag team. Brie then says the division is better than ever and they won't end. Brie then said it's time for the Bellas to go for the tag titles. And I talked about this yesterday also on Scoops. I do feel like we possibly could get the Bella Twins against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at WrestleMania. Because that Nikki's on her last run. Brie came back for a tag run with her sister. I don't know if they win the belts. But you know, I do believe that they're going to get a tag title match. Athena's going to pass Roman's 1,316 days in a few months, so Roman will hold this title for 1,500 days. Just kidding. I said that yesterday on Scoops. I said I guess he's going to hold it for 1,500 days. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not gonna get the Bloodline fans all riled back up again. He's probably going to hold it for a while. I doubt 1,500 days, so that would be just a little bit too much. But yeah, the Bella Twins are going for the tag title. Stampede, any thoughts on that? You feel like that's probably where they're going. The Bella Twins against Rio, WrestleMania. Maybe they give the Bellas one last tag championship run, get Rhea and Io out of the, get them back into the singles. Singles. So we then see Otis and Tozawa greet Bert Kreischer in the back, and they talk about his special and their tag title match. He then tells Maxine he is looking forward to what she's going to do next week. Maxine then says she is going to break Natty's ankle next week. So then Penta makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, and he is followed by the Vision. It's going to be the Penta going against the Vision, the Tribal Thief, Big Bronson Reed. It was a pretty good match. Obviously, I don't really care for the ending. Maybe they'll give the Bellas a win before the title shot this time. Yeah, they have to get a win. This tag division is super stacked right now. Triple H and Creative have brought all these single stars in together to get this tag division like popping. I wish they would do that with the U.S. title that Julia has. But I definitely think they need to get a win before they put the titles on them. So Reed takes control. Penta then hits some punches. Penta floats over on an Irish whip and hits a head scissors takedown. I love Penta, but they need to reunite him with his brother, Ray Phoenix. The Lucha Brothers has got to reunite. Penta responds to Reed, 6.75 out of 10. So he enjoyed it. I would probably get a 6.25 or something like that. Penta returns to the ring, does his Penta strut. I love that. Penta then hits a baseball slide and chops Reed on the floor. Penta then goes for another chop, but Reed moves and Penta chops the ring post. Reed then sends Penta into the ring post, and then he sends Penta into the announce desk. They then return to the ring, and Reed punches Penta. Reed then has to form to the back. So they go to the floor, or Reed goes to the floor, and he stops a suicide dive from Penta with a forearm. Reed then hits a slam and then a back senton. Reed then hits some headbutts and forearms to the back. Penta then hits some kicks, but Reed hits a boot. Later on down in the match, Penta then sets up for the sacrifice, but Reed blocks it and he hits a headbutt. Reed then hits a power slam for a near fall. So Reed goes for Samoan drop, but Penta counters with I don't know what the hell a lung blower is. That's what it says for a lung blower for a near fall. Theory then gets on the apron to distract the referee. Penta hits a super kick. Logan also gets on the apron, and Penta hits a forearm, but he takes out the referee. Penta then goes up top, and he hits a crossbody on Logan and Theory. Penta then sets up for a destroyer, but Reed catches Penta and hits a Death Valley driver. Reed then goes up top for a tsunami, but the referee is down. Reed then goes to the floor. He grabs a chair and brings it into the ring. And out comes the person that Adam Pearce said he escorted out of the arena, L.A. Knight. Yeah. He enters the ring. He kicks Reed and hits a BFT on the chair. Knight then escapes back through the crowd. And Theory and Paul follow him through the crowd. The referee then wakes up and saw absolutely none of that. Paul Heyman is trying to yell at the referee, and the referee starts his count. The referee counts out Bronson Reed, and the winner via count out is Penta. So terrible night for the Vision, and LA Knight is still super involved in this. So we then get a video package for Stephanie Valcourt versus Raquel Rodriguez. We then see Liv Morgan walking in the backstage area. We get Byron Saxton in an interview with the Los Americanos. Byron asked Grande about his match when Classic Grande showed up. Grande says he wants to know where his people are. Bravo then says, "You have no culture or respect." He then says, "You want to cheer this imposter, this fraud." He then says, "The Mexican people would never support this fraud." He then says, "The Mexican people love Grande." Grande then says, "There is only one Grande Americano." He then says he is the only one. He says he will prove it to everyone, especially in Mexico. So then we get the greatest Mysterio of all time, the greatest luchador, and the man that all the ladies in WWE love, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Tiffany even tried to hit on him one time. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, the Raw Intercontinental Champion, looking fresh, makes his way down to the ring. He says the only reason he came back and was willing to show up in a place like Philly is to celebrate and introduce the winner of the 2026 Royal Rumble, Liv Morgan. Liv obviously runs to the ring, jumps on Dom. They do their little nose thing. Big hug. She's happy to see Dom. Liv then agrees with the crowd's chant, and she's happy. She then says, "We're glad to have him back, but you are in the graces of the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time." Liv then says, "You are curious about who she's going to pick." Liv then says, "You're going to have to wait a little longer." Liv then says she doesn't know and she doesn't want to rush it. Liv then says maybe she will go to SmackDown to check out her options, but she's not going after Jade Cargill. Liv then says tonight we crown a new women's world champion, and then Liv introduces Raquel Big Sexy Rodriguez. Raquel says it is about time. Raquel then says it has been an amazing week for them, but they have been celebrating her victory all weekend, and they aren't talking about something that happened at the Rumble. The dissension is there. Raquel then asks Liv why did she eliminate her. Liv then says it is not like that. It is not like that. She then says she knows Raquel better than anyone in the world. She then says you are not a selfish person. She then says you have a title match and she has a title match. She then says a win for one is a win for all. Raquel then tells Liv to stay in the back. She doesn't want any help because it will make her victory so much sweeter when she does it on her own. Liv agrees and she goes to the back with Dominic Mysterio. You can see the dissension starting to pent up between Raquel and Liv. Obviously, Liv threw Raquel out of the Rumble. Shout out to the 340 people that's watching either live on my YouTube, my Emmy's X, which generates a lot of traction on these streams, and my X as well. I will be trying to get my Instagram and TikTok hooked up to this. Hopefully next week. Definitely soon though. But shout out to the 340 people that are watching live for this Raw recap. Appreciate you guys. And make sure you hit that like. If you are watching on YouTube, please hit that like button on the stream and spam. I love all the comments from Stampede. That definitely helps my streams from the YouTube comments. I don't mind the Twitter comments, but the YouTube comments definitely help out as well. So I have a lot of YouTube comments from Stampede. So the next match is for the WWE Women's Championship, the Philadelphia Street Fight. La Primera, Stephanie Valcour going one-on-one versus Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez. This match was great. The match starts off by Valcour hits a boot. Raquel tosses stopping Stephanie Valcour. Let's talk. Stephanie Valcour got a new theme song, which it sucks. They should have left her with the old one. Valcour then escapes a slam. Stephanie hits a satellite into a roll-up for a near fall. Raquel hits a clothesline, and she hits a slingshot jackhammer for a near fall. This match was super long, but really good. Stephanie then gets on the ringside barrier to pose, and she returns to the Fortress and Raquel back into the ring. But Raquel counters, sends Valcour into the ringside barrier, sets up the table on the floor. Valcour then goes to the apron and tries for a head scissor takedown, but Raquel blocks it and hits a powerbomb through the table. Raquel then goes under the ring. She gets a trash can and tosses it into the ring. It's a Philly street fight, so anything goes. Raquel gets a chain and she tries to hog tie Stephanie Valcour. Raquel then begins to work on the injured leg and ankle of Stephanie Valcour. She drags Stephanie on the floor and sends the leg into the ringside barrier. Raquel then hits a forearm and then sends the injured leg into the frame of the ring. Raquel then grabs a few kendo sticks, but Bakor stops her. Stephanie then hits a headbutt, and then she sends Raquel into the apron. Raquel hits a forearm to the back. So then Stephanie Raquel then uses the chain on the ankle that's damaged of Stephanie. Stephanie Bakor, Raquel Rodriguez, 8.80 out of 10. Excellent match. My 10th highest rated match of 2026. I love that. I agree. Raquel's doing phenomenal work. I'm so disappointed they didn't put the title on her. I mean, that could be our 4th match at Elimination Chamber. They could run that back, by Corey and Raquel. I still have a hunch that they do Liv and Raquel at Mania. I love Stephanie, but she's got plenty of time left in the company. It's just there's more story in the Judgment Day, but I don't know. We'll see. Raquel hits a punch, sends Bakor into the ring post. Raquel gets a chair, but hits the post when Bakor moves. She hits Raquel many times with the kendo stick. Raquel falls onto the announce desk. Bakor then pulls the steps over, but Raquel hits Bakor with the hood of the announce desk. Raquel sets up for the Tejana bomb on the ring steps, but Stephanie gets to the apron. Bakor then misses a knee drop. Raquel sends Stephanie into the ring post, and they return into the ring. So Bakor then hits a belly to back suplex, and it is time for her signature Devil's Kiss. Love seeing that back from Stephanie. Raquel came out of that match elevated, even in defeat. She did. Raquel, she's killing it right now. She really is. I did think she was going to get the title, though, because I do feel like it's more story with her and Liv at Mania than Liv and Stephanie. But either way, I feel Liv Morgan's leaving WrestleMania with the world title. So, the referee begins to check on Stephanie Bakor's ankle, and at that point, I'm like, all right, we may be getting a new champion here because, like I said, that injury is hard to recover from. So Raquel then hits Bakor with a trash can and gets a near bar. More chairs then come into the ring. She places herself close to a chair when it bounces off the ropes. Bakor then goes up to top. Raquel catches Bakor, hits a fall-away slam onto the chairs. Raquel then puts Bakor on some chairs, and Raquel misses a twisted Vader bomb and hits the chairs. Bakor then hits the Devil's Kiss on the chair. They then roll to the floor, and Bakor wants to do it on the steps. So Stephanie then sends Raquel into the ringside barrier a few times, hits Raquel in the back with a kendo stick. They return to the ring. Bakor throws a trash can at Raquel. The fans were chanting, holy shit, and the fans were really into this match. This was definitely the match of the night, for 1,000,000%. Raquel stops her. We'll get towards the end. Raquel then throws some, picked up the ring step, but Bakor hits a kick to Raquel to drop the steps. We get to the part, Bakor sets up for the SBB, but Raquel tries for a back body drop. Bakor holds on for a sunset flip. Raquel gets another table, sets the table up in the ring. Raquel hits a hip attack after the referee checks on Bakor. Bakor then escapes a Tejana bomb, and she hits a super kick. Raquel then hits a clothesline, but we see Liv Morgan come out. She grabs the title belt and hands it to Raquel, and Raquel looks shocked, and it distracts her. What's going on, Elliot? I don't know about the whole Raw, but I think the first half sucked. The second half was great. I would not give this Raw like an 8 out of 10 or anything like that. But the match I said was going to happen for 2 months. It's happening. So, Liv Morgan handed her the belt, but it distracted her. Bakor then sent Raquel into the chair in the corner. Stephanie then hit the kick. Then we see Roxanne Perez get involved as well. She comes out, and Raquel headbutts. Roxanne gets headbutted off the apron through the table and on the floor. And obviously Stampede will know this because I bring it up because he tells me all the time. I believe Roxanne Perez is like taking like over 60 losses since she's been on the main roster, which is absolutely fucking wild. That's just terrible booking for Roxanne for what she did in NXT. Raquel sets up for the Vader bomb, but Stephanie blocks it. Stephanie Valcour then hits some headbutts, and then she goes for the Rana, but Raquel blocks it. Stephanie Valcour then counters with the Rana on the table. Raquel bounces off. Stephanie Valcour goes up top and hits the corkscrew moonsault for the 1, 2, 3, and still your Raw Women's Champion, despite both ladies members of the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, getting involved. Stephanie Valcour is still your women's champion. But after the match, Liv interrupts the celebration and she hits Stephanie Valcour with the Oblivion, which I guess is the seed they wanted to plant, that it's going to be Liv Stephanie. Liv then grabs the title belt and holds it over her head and then throws it down on her. So I guess we possibly could be getting Liv Stephanie. We get a Finn Balor again, an NXT video package. It is then announced that next week Maxine Dupree faces Natty. The Usos defend the tag titles against Otis and Tozawa. They didn't announce any matches, but the qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber will start. Those will start next week on Raw, and then also next week on SmackDown, we will have Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. So we then see a vehicle arrive at the building, and the OTC1 and the 2026 Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns, steps out. 16-34 record, not including house shows. Yeah, that's just absolutely terrible. I thought it was more losses than that, but that's a lot. Roman Reigns comes straight from his vehicle, straight to the arena. Crowd erupts. I had a feeling, I know what Triple H said, but this is the place where he won his first Rumble. He won a world title here, like he said in the promo. This is where he lost the title to Cody. It made so much sense for Roman to show up tonight, even before they announced it. I talked about it on Scoops. I said, I haven't been told he's going to be there, but don't be surprised if he doesn't show up. It's word for word what I said yesterday. So the crowd chants Roman Reigns, which gets a smirk from Roman, and he tells the fans, and he said, Philadelphia, acknowledge me. How many times will Miz be in a qualifying match? I don't know. That's a great question. I literally was thinking that in my head. He'll probably have at least 2 qualifying matches. I mean, Jesus, get rid of this guy. This guy's he's gonna be the way that everybody qualifies for the chamber. Let's get a pop mixed in with some booze. We got a little bit of booze. But the majority of the crowd are chanting OTC in response. Roman then says, we have had some highs and lows here in Philly. Roman then says he won his first world championship here on his daughter's birthday, but also lost his last world title here. And I was live there. I wasn't there for the Roman Cody night 2, but I was at WrestleMania 40 night 1 when the OTC1 Tribal Chief and the final boss The Rock took on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in the main event. I've seen Sami Zayn beat Gunther to end that streak. I've seen Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. Night 1 was great as well. Roman then says he won his first Royal Rumble here as well. Oba should eliminate Brock from Elimination Chamber. I think we're getting Oba Brock at Mania. I don't know how they got to start. They've already started it, planted the seed at the Rumble. But I don't know if Oba and Brock are both going to be in the Elimination Chamber because Cody's winning the chamber. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else is going to be in it. Hopefully it's star-studded, though, like the Rumble. Roman then says he won his first Royal Rumble here, as well as after winning this weekend, he realized that Philly was next on the schedule. Roman then says this is the perfect city to be in based on their history because he's got a decision to make. Who better to make the decision with the people in Philadelphia? Roman then says, so does he go after the title that he made? And this is interrupted by a CM Punk chant. So the crowd is definitely behind both of these guys, which makes this even better of a match. Roman then asked if they're saying he shouldn't go after Drew McIntyre, which everybody in Philly is booing. Nobody wants to see that. It's not happening. It never was. All the trolls are mad. Which gets booed, or should he go after CM Punk? This, of course, gets cheers and a big pop, and we get the best in the world, the Raw Men's Heavyweight Champion CM Punk music hits. He makes his way out to the ring as the crowd singing his song. Punk then heads down the ramp as Roman stares him down. This promo was 10 out of 10, and I hope that this continues. I hope that Roman is on TV enough from now to WrestleMania that they could continue these promos because that would be a great build. Punk steps on the apron and joins the fans. Punk gets a mic from ringside as the music fades out. The Punk promo was A+ promos are always better when there's some truth mixed with history, mixed with storyline. They hit on all of those. They did. I hope that this was an A+ promo from both of them. I hope that it continues on the road to WrestleMania. And it's not like one-sided. So Punk then gets a mic. Punk then chooses to address Ben Balor first. And this gets a good laugh for Roman, saying he interrupted his time. Punk then says he is not having a laugh, and he calls Roman a visitor on his show. He said, this is not SmackDown, this is Raw on Netflix, and I am the champion here, this is my show. Punk then says, that's what I said, he is on SmackDown, this is Monday Night Raw, and he is the champion. Punk then talks about the option Roman has as the winner of the Royal Rumble, comparing himself and Drew to clear cheers for Punk. And he said Roman's mind is already made up, so pick the easy way out and face Drew McIntyre. Roman even touched on the Colt Cabana podcast from 10 years ago. He absolutely did. This promo was super deep. And he talked about the Zebras, which is been all over the IWC. Roman's mind is already made up, so pick the easy way out. Roman then starts to mock Punk, saying Drew is 4 times bigger than him, and the last time Drew faced Punk, it was over a bracelet, which gives Punk some ammo, as he says they ran out of staples to put McIntyre back together after he beat him at Hell in a Cell. Punk then talks about Drew's battles against the Bloodline, which riles Roman up as he claims they made a way for Punk to come back to WWE. Punk then asked Roman if he really believed that. Punk then says, you think you're the reason they're in the spot they're in? Punk then says, you are partially right. Punk says, you made people believe that you held this place up, but you held it hostage. He brought up the 1,500-day hostage thing. I said that on a podcast a couple nights ago. I was actually joking, but fucking Punk said it tonight. Punk then says, this isn't ESPN. Punk then says he heard what Roman said. Punk then says nobody is trying to follow in your footsteps. Punk then says he was champion for 434 days with Paul Heyman at his side. Punk then says you took what he did and ran with it. Punk then says you might have been champion longer, but it doesn't mean you did it better. Punk then says you're a bona fide WrestleMania main eventer. Punk then says you can show up when you want. Punk then says you choose to be a part-timer. Punk then says he chooses to go to 10 countries in 3 weeks for the fans. Punk then says he chooses to be a fighting champion. Punk then says he chose to bring Roman into this company with the Shield, and he followed in his footsteps. Punk then says, you learn from the best. Punk said, there are 2 mountains to climb. Punk then says, one has a guy you think you can beat, and the other has a man you cannot touch because he is the best in the world. Punk then says, you can choose the door. Athena challenged Saraya for the IWGP Women's title at New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning USA February 27th, Trenton, New Jersey. That's not too far from me either. That's about 2.5 hours. Yeah, keep me up to date on that. Punk then says you can choose the door to face Drew, or you can face the man who held his title while you are gone. Roman then tells Punk he is making these towns because he took a 10-year vacation. Roman then says he would try to get as much in as you are. Roman then laughs at the idea he learned from Punk. Roman says he learned what not to do. Punk then tells Billy he wouldn't be here without him. He then says, who do you think they came to and asked when you wanted to come back? Roman told Punk. He then says he kept his promise to Paul. He then says, remember when you went on your best friend's podcast and you made things worse for him, referring to the Colt Cabana podcast. He then says, we shook hands at War Games. He then says, you mocked him to his back, and they walked to the back, and you were mocking him, making him look like a young little boy. Roman then says he could pick Punk because he is a star and on Netflix. Roman then says he is picking Punk because he hates him, and he always has. Roman then says it will be the best day of his life because in the main event, which will be night 2 of WrestleMania, he will acknowledge him, and then Roman Reigns heads to the back as the show comes to a close. What a fucking ending. What a promo. It is official. Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania for the Raw Heavyweight Championship of the world. Kairi Sane was the first holder of that title. Interesting. Very interesting. Damn, Athena's been champion for a while then. So that's it, guys. We're over an hour and 22 minutes in, almost 400 viewers. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you guys love the new, I'm pointing to it right there, my new Twitter profile picture, and then the DWE, and obviously EVP, which Miami made for me today, and I uploaded into StreamYard. So thank you to Miami for that. Shout out to the Unseen Bling Shopping Bling co-host of DWE podcast. I did not see your comments. I'm so sorry. She's sleeping. Did the promotion. It's full in here. Good night. Thank you so much. She said, my rock. Star Diamond. Hope you had a great birthday. Unseen Bling. Thank you for the promotion. Shout out to DW host, Raymond, Stampede. Appreciate you as always, brother. Always welcome. Make sure you give a follow to Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast and also to the Unseen Shopping Bling co-host of DWE Podcast, and co-host of Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast, DWE Radio as well. Make sure you give them a follow on X and a subscription on YouTube. We're almost at the 400. We're like teeter-tottering. We just can't get there. We're like 1 or 2 away. Shout out to Raymond. Yes, you said 2 months ago, Roman vs. Punk. You called it. You are the GOAT. Thank you, Raymond. Shout out to DWE Replays. Shout out to Wrestling RUS Podcast. Yes, you said 3 months ago. I absolutely did. You're our GOAT. Thank you for that. Drew vs. Cody. Yep. Shout out to Stampede. I think he is the rest of the. And also shout out to Elliot, who's the first person to ever buy EVP merchandise, which I need to get some more out now because that stuff's old. Athena, 1,151 days as champ. Interesting. That is a long time. She's getting close to Roman. Well, that's it, guys, for the Raw recap. Like I said, shout out to everybody in DWE. Miami the Great, the CEO and the head of the table. Unseen Bling Queen, as we've seen earlier. Director Reg, Greg, After the Sun Podcast. Make sure you follow him on X and YouTube as well. Everybody from Gimmick Table Media. The two lovely ladies from Wrestling Divas Podcast, Lady Alpha and Autumn, as well as Michael and Tori from Kicking Out at 2. And Michael, I believe his name is Michael. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. From the Run In Wrestling Podcast. And also Princess Jess Skywalker, who does majority of her work on TikTok. So shout out to everyone there. So thank you guys. We're going to go to the outro, and I'll be back to tell you where you can find me. And shout out to the point, we got to 400 views. So I definitely appreciate that. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube stream and spam the likes. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the EVP show. I'll be right back, guys.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, guys, I appreciate it once again, and I appreciate everybody, especially Miami, for the new stuff that was put on my overlays. Obviously, I have a 2-person overlay that all the same stuff is added to. As far as my socials, guys, it's on the bottom of the screen. All my links are in my bio. Make sure you follow me on all social platforms. You can find me on X at EVPCJP. On Instagram, also the same handle at EVPCJP. TikTok at Brady the Goat 21 at Brady DA Goat 21. I will start trying to stream to my Instagram and TikTok here in the next week or two. As soon as I can get it all figured out, because StreamYard is allowing me to stream to 10 different destinations right now. So make sure you follow me on Instagram as well as TikTok. I don't really do a whole lot of like TikTok videos and all that. The only thing I use TikTok for is to promote the videos that Greg and Miami make for my YouTube stream. That's the only thing that goes on my TikTok. I'm not getting on there dancing or all that shit. It's only wrestling stuff. So, but yeah, make sure, because eventually I'm going to be, these streams are going to be live on TikTok as well. But most importantly, last but not least, please like and subscribe. Hit that like button and that subscribe button. You can find me at the search bar if you're not already subscribed at the EVP Show. And if you are watching live tonight on the YouTube stream, please hit that like button. I've seen plenty of comments from Stampede. That definitely helps my show, my channel. It helps get my show in the algorithm as well as like everything else that's involved. So I definitely appreciate that if you guys will hit the like button and subscribe. So what I have coming up next tomorrow, well, it's already midnight. So it's Tuesday, on the East Coast. So Tuesday is Doubleheader Tuesday. We have 2 more weeks of Doubleheader Tuesday. At 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joined by the CEO, the head of the table, Miami the Great, as we will be doing the Super Bowl preview show, not the recap. That's next week. The Super Bowl preview show at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night, I'm back again at 10:30 p.m. Eastern to give you your NXT recap. And then I'm off Wednesday and I'm off Thursday and I'm back Friday night. I don't know any matches yet. There haven't been anything announced, but I will be back at original time at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then finally, episode 6 of Sunday Scoops with the EVP Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So that will be it for me, guys, for the rest of this week. I will see you guys tomorrow, and thank you guys again for the 400 people watching. Appreciate much love and respect. I will see you guys for Doubleheader Tuesday tomorrow. First off, me and Miami will kick it off at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Super Bowl preview as we get you guys ready for Super Bowl Sunday this weekend with the Seattle Seahawks battling the New England Patriots. Super Bowl 60. And at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be back to cover the NXT recap with the first NXT without Ava. So hopefully we can go into detail on that. And I will see you guys for both shows tomorrow. With that being said, thank you again. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. And we are the ones. Good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Super Bowl preview show.